right. Good? Yeah, looks like we're good. Okay, let's just run around and see what kind of trouble we can get into here. Maybe we'll run over to the Unnamed City. Heavy attacks are working really good with this katana. Right. She's level 12. Got on really decent armor. I'm going to take out this scorpion over here. Let's see if she can face tank it. What are you coming after me for? That mace seems to be working pretty well.
You picked the wrong fight.
Oh, you didn't like it, did you? I think she could have face tanked it on her own, but she would have definitely lost some health in the process.
Taste death.
All right. Another key, we could use that. Kind of just doing a test run here, going live. Seeing how everything looks. Anyone in the chat, can you tell me how the audio sounds? I do know there's like a 15-second delay. I was playing around with that earlier. There's like a 15-second delay on when I say something and you hear it. Oh yeah. I did a little test earlier just to make sure everything was running, and then restarted a new one. How you doing, Matthew? How long have you been playing Conan, Matthew? Those two almost look like they're together. I'm really excited about the Conan Enhanced, but I am worried about the performance with PCs and how much, you know, just how much resources it's going to take to run it. So if this video looks pretty good, I've got this set pretty high on some pretty high settings. So if this looks pretty good, then oh yeah, you don't have this stuff to respawn right away. Gotcha. So yeah, if this video looks pretty good, then I think we're gonna be okay for the Conan Exiles Enhanced live runs. I was making some changes to the video recording settings, and definitely gonna have to do some magic there to make everything work with that UE5. It's a little different, right? UE4 doesn't require nearly the resources to run on your computer, and you want to make sure that you're capturing all of the enhancements, so you don't want to just be some grainy video. So I'm kind of playing around with this a little bit right now. Let's see what we can get into over here. This area here, there's a bunch of relic hunters in this area, and it used to be that when I would start a new character, I would come here and get me one of these fighters. They're not as good as they used to be, but they're still pretty good. They're really hard to knock out early on, so I don't know if it's really worth it anymore, but this used to be one of my go-to spots early on. Just come over here and get me a relic hunter fighter. But you got to be careful because there is a boss in there that you can't knock out. And trying to take them all on at one time can be a little fun. See if we can lure one of them out. Yeah, maybe.
Taste death!
Better not taking on. It's better to not have to take on 5 of them at a time. And they don't even see me? Come on. How do you not see me? There we go.
Blood of the serpent! Enemies at the gate!
Halt! In the name of Set!
Out of stamina.
God,
No.
thank you!
So these relic hunters, they drop They dropped the heart of the hero. It has an expiration timer on it, so you want to get it in a fridge or something as soon as you can. But you can eat these and they'll clear your corruption. They also dropped, the boss will drop the some Silent Legion tacits and, you know, different armor stuff too. So early on, if you can take out one of those bosses, it's a real easy, quick way for you to get some Redeemed Legion armor, and it's heavy. Grandmaster armor repair kits, treasure. So, but these can be really good fighters early on. They're just I don't know if they're worth the trouble of knocking out anymore, because it takes a long time to knock them things out when you're early on. You're using like an iron truncheon or something. There's another one. I knew there was another one around here somewhere. Where are you at? There he is. He's an archer. Back over there. Let's go fight a dragon. Maybe hit Avery along the way too. So you see a bunch of bats up here in the Unnamed City. But right here in this area. There's the Avery there. You'll see a bunch of bats up at the top, and down at the bottom, it's all corruption. You'll get corrupted being in this area. Down here, down all the way down at the bottom down there is Avery. That's a 3-skulled demon bat. The whole time you're here, you're taking corruption. Where are you at? You don't want them to use their move on you. They'll knock you off this cliff too. They start swinging around and they will send you flying. You got to be careful being next to cliffs when you're fighting around with those bats. There we go. And pretty much all of the 3-skulled bosses in Unnamed City, they'll drop these fragments of power. And they're very, very important for this game, getting the fragments of power. Crystalline there might come in handy. Don't really need these. Don't need that. You drop the Riptide. Okay. Riptide's really important. I got to explain that here in just a minute. Let me get out of this corruption. So the Riptide, let me pull this out here. This is water breathing, right? And that means if you have it equipped on you, you can go underwater and you don't have any, you're not going to drown. It's just like you were walking around on land. This is going to be interesting now that you can take the Riptide with you to Sipta, right? Now that you can take the Riptide with you to Sipta, because you couldn't have that before. That's going to be interesting. Didn't think about that. Because Sipta has all, they have the water vaults. That's going to change those water vaults. Oh yeah, the dragon horns. You need to go there to get the you're doing your sorcery, I bet. That's why you need those dragon horns, right? Let's go find some water to jump into with that Riptide. Right. So there's a breath bar there, right? And that's the normal. But if you equip yourself with the Riptide, no breath bar. This is really going to change. Hi, Callie. How you doing? This is really going to change. I just can't stop thinking about how much that's going to change Sipta for those who have played Sipta before, because there's water dungeons there that they can be a little challenging, especially the first time you do them, because you get turned around all over the place. And they're kind of mazy. But having, the Riptide, you don't have the ability to get the Riptide on Sipta, but you can get it on Exiles. So if you can transport from Exiles to Sipta, like, what's coming soon, take the Riptide with you, grab it here and take it with you. That's going to really change those two vaults in Sipta. Yeah, it's very similar to Valheim. I played Valheim probably about a year ago. I played it for about a month. It was a pretty cool game. One of the there's a couple of things about Valheim that I really just didn't like too much. For example, you don't really level up in Valheim. It's you level up different skills, but it's like, if I remember correctly, your HP was always, I think it was always like 25 or 50 no matter what, and then it just depended on what you ate. So you got buffs by what you ate, and then those buffs wore off over time. And I don't know. I know they're making a lot of games like that lately, but you don't really level up your character. You kind of level up your skill set on the tools you can make and things like that. It's a different type of game. But it is a really cool game. I like the building on it. I think of all the games I played, Valheim's the closest to Conan on building. I mean, Conan has the best building that in any game I've ever played, in any game I've ever heard of. So the building is, I mean, hard to beat on Conan. But Valheim is up there. I would say second best to Conan of any game I've ever played in the building. Oh yeah, you might not want to watch this. I'm just kind of running around. If you're into the spoiler-free stuff, it's interesting with the spoiler-free stuff because I think most of the veterans that play, they get it. They get what I'm trying to do with it. You know, we want new people to come in and not, you know, you'll come in and you're like, hey, how do I get, you know, how do I make a still axe or how do I make still? And the next thing you know, the whole game's ruined to you because they're showing you all the in-game stuff. So my goal with the spoiler-free guides were to give new people an opportunity to be able to come into, you know, to be able to start playing this game without having every in-game spoiler thrown in their face every time they look something up. So, and then most of the veterans, they get it. They absolutely understand what I was trying to do, but it's like some of them, they were just like, why are you doing this? This isn't going to work. I'm like, you don't have to watch these. These are really not for you if it's not something that you want to do, they're not for you. It's intended for the new people, right? So that they have a basic guide to be able to learn the mechanics on how to play the game. These little red dudes right here will blow up on you. In Sipta, they do it. There's a lot of them in Sipta, in the Sipta vaults. They'll get mad and just blow up on you. Catch up on chat here a little bit. Yeah, thank you, Bushweed, for saying that. It's I really think about back to whenever I started playing this game. I told myself, and the game was fairly new when I first started playing it. I didn't play it on day one, like launch day, but it wasn't too far after that, a few months maybe. And I told myself, I'm not looking anything up. I'm just gonna play the game. And I stayed on Noob River for probably a month and a half, just figuring the game out, and it was fun. And I was just thinking to myself, well, I'm gonna create a YouTube channel, and I want to give people an opportunity to have that space if they want to. Not everyone wants to. Some people, they just want to start a game and go from 0 to 100, and they want to finish the game and know everything about it in, you know, a week. And that's okay too. If that's what people want to do, then, you know, they pay for the game, they can play the game however they want. But I did notice that there was just way too many videos out there just spoiling the game for someone looking up something basic. So I said, you know, I'm going to make the Survivor's Handbook for beginners and just show them, you know, these are how the tools work. This is how you make tools. This is how this is how you make your different weapons. This is how your benches work. This is how the crafters interact with the benches. This is a good setup spot if you just want to learn for your first base. If you just want to learn the game and you want to grind through it, because some people love the grind. I do. I'm one of them. I love the grind. Once you know too much about the game, it's you'll never get a second chance of learning it yourself. It's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Callie, you don't think you're gonna like it? Why not? Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, there's PvP. Yeah, that is a whole different. The game's completely different, right? From PvE to PvP, it's a different game. I mean, the mechanics are all the same, but you're doing things for different reasons. So, oh yeah, if you like PvP, Conan has that, and it's quite interesting. I've played PvP a couple times. They also have PvEC, which is, you know, player versus environment with combat. And at different times of the day, they have where you can combat. PvE combat. So the raid hours, like, I don't think it's like 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock or something. If you're out in the open, you fight each other. What I do like about PvEC, what I do like about that is that they can't blow up your buildings, right? So it's kind of an in-between. They can't blow up your buildings like they can in PvP, but you can still fight through what we used to call the raid hours. Because when this game first started, you would start building up this raid bar. And so in your, I believe it was in your stats. I can't remember where it was. I think in your stats, there would be like this raid bar somewhere it would just start growing over time. And no matter what you did, if you just logged into the game and didn't do anything, that raid bar would go up. And, you know, if you were to go fight bosses and stuff, it would go up faster. So the more you did, the more the raid bar would go up. And then depending on your server, like I think it was 5 o'clock, but you might be on an Eastern time server if you're in Central Standard Time Zone. At 5 o'clock server time, that's when the raid hours would start all the way until 9. And if your raid bar was past a certain level, then you might possibly get raided. So you never knew when you were going to get raided by NPCs. Now the raid is self-induced. You basically force the raid the way they have it now. But back then, yeah, I mean, you could be on an official server somewhere and they would raid you even if you weren't online. And these would be anywhere between like a level 1 and level 10 raid. You got a level 10 raid and you were offline, you would log back in the next day and your base would be gone. Right? I think we're getting close to where we built. Yeah, we are. This is about where we built in the Survivor's Handbook. Yeah, right over here. This is where we built in episode 1 of the Beginner Survivor's Handbook right here. Yes, kind of. You can have a clan, right? And so Callie, yes, I played like that many times with this game. So you can get together, and it's kind of like most games where you can get a crew together and then you got one person who always wants to be the builder. I want to build the base. Another person says, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get us some thralls. Another person says, you know, I think I'm going to go get us the ability, all the recipes that we need to make everything. So just like any other game, yeah, you can have a clan. And actually, I'll show you on here. Here's the clan. So I've got 2 characters. I got 2 Steam characters. And here's the other character right here that you see me playing. Level 43. That's where I left off on the beginner's handbook, Survivor's Handbook, level 43. That's my second character. And it's actually a separate Steam character too. And the reason why I did that is because my main character has all the DLCs. And I wanted to start the game off as though someone who didn't have any DLCs just bought the base game, because that can get confusing to people. If I'm making something because it's a DLC and there's no way to get it without buying the DLC, then it's just going to confuse someone. How did you do that, right? So, yeah, the Midnight Grove. Yeah, I had a okay, this is a funny story. It's a funny story. I had a Midnight Grove episode up, and there used to be a guy named Whack who did a lot of videos, and he was the best at it. I mean, he was the best content creator for Conan that there ever was, right? And he decided to quit, but by from watching one of his videos and what he was calling the coup de grace, is what he would call it. So I made a Midnight Grow video, and I thought that was a pronunciation. You know, the most knowledgeable person in Conan content creation history called it that, so that's what it must be. So I made this great video about how to go get, at the time, the coup de grace. Come to find out, the proper pronunciation for it is coup de grace. And some people were calling me out for it, so I ended up taking the video down. I plan on redoing the Midnight Grove run to get the coup de grace, because there's no way to fix it. Once you upload a video like that, it's uploaded. There's no way to fix that. So, yeah. Yeah, he doesn't do videos on Conan anymore. You'll see him doing Soul Mask and stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, that just tells you any of us can be wrong at any time, right? Yeah, the guilds, Callie, are fun. If you can get a group of people to play, this game is so much fun. And if you'd want to do PvP, I mean, you can have some epic battles, right? You got 4 people against 4 people, and then raid hours hit. That's when you can blow up people's buildings on PvP. You can't blow them up 24/7, right? It has to be during those, I think it's 5 to 9 or something like that, 5 to 10. It's been a while since I played PvP or PvEC. I kind of like the PvE mellow, where it's just you against the world out here. You're not having to worry about fighting everyone else on top of it. It's easier to make videos this way, that's for sure. So, yeah, the first time I ever died in this game was to a sandstorm right here in this area. And I tried to dive in the water, but that didn't help. But someone did comment on one of my videos the other day that you can, if you dive deep enough in the water, you can avoid the sandstorm. That was not the case for me 7+ years ago or whatever. So maybe they fixed something. I'm going to do a test on that so I can confirm whether or not diving down far enough will save you from a sandstorm. I know for a fact it wasn't the case before, but they could have changed it, and I just didn't know. And then I went over here and I tried to hide behind this tree, because I was getting a little bit of see the shelter bar over there where it just pops up. I found a place where I was getting some shelter right there, and I died right there. It wasn't enough shelter. Either that or it's a false flag that it was giving me shelter and it wasn't. But that's the first time I ever died right here, standing in this corner. And then, if you've seen my, I think it was the 8th episode, when I first started playing the game, I didn't know how to make a weapon, but I could make a hatchet, and I thought that was a weapon. I was like, oh, maybe that's just a weapon, right? And I ended up fighting a bunch of imps in this area over here. Yeah, they were over here. I got surrounded by like 8 or 9 imps, and they killed me. All of these guys down here. So, learned the hard way in this game. Looks like it's getting dark. Yeah, Callie, I would. I mean, Conan Exiles is awesome. Oh, you know what? There's something I didn't show. There's something I didn't show in the video when we came here. And I didn't show it on purpose, because I didn't want to give anything away on that video series. But I'll do it here in a minute. It looks like it's getting dark, so we'll wait for this to be over. We'll go into this cave over here, and I'll show you what I didn't show you before. It's pretty cool. Look on the map here. So this is where I spawned with the second character. I spawned here. And I think everyone probably knows on here now that these are the 6 places that you can spawn from. And if you don't have a bedroll down or a bed and you die, you spawn from one of these 6 locations just randomly. I should have turned the day-night settings off. I didn't think about that. So we'll give it a minute. But yeah, there's like Valheim was really interesting because it's almost impossible, Callie, to go from biome to biome, right? You can't skip past one. You have to get all of the things that you need from that one biome before you can go into the next one. I'm trying to remember the order. What was it? It was Meadows was the first one, I think, and then was it the Black Forest after that? And then I can't remember if it was the mountain or it was the mountain and then the swamp and then the plains. So funny thing about that is all of those maps they're seeded maps. So chances of you getting the same map twice is next to none unless you remember the exact number. But they're all seeded maps, so there's no, it's not like Conan where you got the same map everyone's looking at. It's just a completely random generated map almost. And I ended up getting a map to where I went from meadows to Black Forest to plains. And I was like, hey, this looks pretty calm. I walked into the plains and those goblins just ripped me. I mean, they tore me a new one. They just came out of nowhere. Callie, you probably, Mountain Plains. Yeah, Callie, you're probably laughing your butt off at me right now. But yeah, I just had one of those maps where it went out of order with how I was kind of moving along through that game. And yeah, they ended up camping my body. I don't know if I ever got that body back. Yeah, the swamp. Yeah, I mean, that was interesting. It was dark and yeah, that's, I don't think that they intended for the map to, send you to the plains after the Black Forest. I think I just took that direction where it happened. Just one of those weird things. I never saw another map like that after that. Every time I reseeded them, it looked like it pretty much went in the right order it should after that. And another thing I liked about Valheim, and I kind of wish they would do that with Conan, or at least give you the opportunity. Maybe if you go on barbaric, maybe if you can go on the barbaric setting, it doesn't show you the whole map until you've actually been into the area. So that's one thing I really did like about Valheim, is that you never knew what was next until you ventured out into that area, and then that little piece of the map would show up. All right, so cool. We're gonna go in this cave. I'm going to show you all what I didn't show you in episode 1 of the Survivor's Handbook. A little dark in here. All right, so down over here in this area, I said you can go down there and explore it. There's a one skull boss down here, which isn't the cool part about this. The cool part about this is over there across this water. I remember how to get up there. It's been a while. There we go. So let's see if we can sneak up on this dude. See that dude over there? It's almost amazing that they put someone as strong as him this early on in the game that you could possibly find. You can't knock him out, but you can kill him. And let's go do that. He's formidable. He can fight. Doesn't even care that I'm here, does he? There we go. There he goes. Must have her set to not attack everything. I think I do because I was a Sepermeru with her not long ago.
Take death. You picked the wrong fight.
You can stagger him. He kind of reminds me of the judge in Sipta, just the way he is. But what he does is he drops this Witchered Heart. And there's a storyline to this. In here, if you read the book, the others may have perished long ago, but I will remain. My loyalty will not be swayed by the disgusting, feeble creatures in the cave, nor will the lack of food or clean water dismay me even a little bit. Unnamed tests me, I know it. I will be rewarded given time. So if you give in this altar here, your sacrifice has been accepted. And what I sacrificed was that heart, and I got this gorilla. So this gorilla is actually a pet. You might start playing the game and you'll see, hey, how did that person get that gorilla? That's how they got the gorilla, is in here. So it's pretty cool. Oh, you guys looked forever for the crystal? Yeah, there's a few places. There's a few places the crystal is, but let's see if we can get back out of here. Might be better if I put a light on and we can see. One good thing about this light that I have here, and this is the glowing stick, is that it works underwater. Where your normal torch won't, this works underwater. And you get that at the Dregs. I do have a video about going through the Dregs that teaches you how to get that. You actually don't even have to go all the way through the dungeon of the Dregs. It's the first thing you see. When you go into the dungeon, there's a stone tablet on your right. You touch it and it teaches you how to make the glowing stick. Yes, that is true. That guy, you are exactly right. Different hearts that give you different rewards. You're exactly right. I think there's 4 of them. It's been a long time since I've done them, but I think there's 4. Does that sound right, that guy? I think there's 4 different rewards you can get. Again, if you're watching this and not expecting spoilers, you're going to see spoilers here, because we're outside of the beginner survivors playlist right now. We're outside of that. I tried to, in the beginner survivors handbook, put people in a location, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to upload a video every day. So put them in a location to where they would go around and start searching around themselves and might run into some of this stuff.
Watch out!
But that's the best way, right? Maybe we'll go to the Dregs here real quick. Might be, yeah, let's do that. We're not too far away from there. We gotta make our way all the way over here to the Dregs. This is the first dungeon I would recommend you going into, is to the Dregs. Kind of teaches you how the dungeons work. It's not too complicated. If you needed to avoid some of the bosses in there, you can. Yeah, I would recommend going into the Dregs first. Yes, the companions are awesome. Allie, yeah. I don't know if you watched the war party one where we went and got Thugra. You can actually have more than one follower, right? So in your attributes, if you level up all the way to authority and you choose war party, then you can have 2 followers instead of 1. And the reason why it says increase by 1 is there were these other followers that you can get, and I think you still can. I haven't done it in a long time. Basically zombies, you can get 3 or 4 of them. So that would increase you by 1 still on top of that. That's why it doesn't just say 2. But practically, in a practical world, it's giving you the ability to have 2 followers. You couldn't put a club on one of those zombies. They're not knocking anyone out. They're just clawing people to death. Kind of like my first follower was one of these dudes, a shellback, when I first started playing the game. His name was Tank. And it was a completely different game back then, because I don't know if I have any veterans on here. That guy, you might have been around a while. But it was a completely different game back then, because I mean, like, my first human NPC follower, right? A human follower was a bear 2, and I leveled her up to where she had like 22,000 hit points before they nerfed all of it. But I mean, I took her everywhere with me. I mean, she would take a beating. She couldn't hit very hard, but she also had so much HP you couldn't kill her. And the same thing with those shellbacks. They used to be able to get like 15,000 HP if you leveled them up all the way. Ogre, my boy, yeah. That guy, how long have you been playing? Sounds like you might be a veteran who's been around a while. Okay, yeah, right before, yep, they nerfed it. They nerfed that right before you started playing. So I would say you probably started playing around, I'm going to guess 2022 or 23, maybe, somewhere around in there. I might be close to that. Yeah. You got 1 second. I'm going to move some things around on my screen here. Be able to see this chat easier. Here we go. I am going to set up a Discord so that I'm going to go live on May 5th, you know. As soon as I have it, I'm going live. I'm going in blind too. We're just going to figure it out together. And it could be fun, it could be ugly. I don't know how this is going to go, but I am setting up a Discord also so that I can put the chat on the screen so everyone can see the chat. I think Matthew, he joined the Discord already, but there's a post I made a post on the YouTube channel. It's got a link in there. And what I decided to do is all the original followers that started off with me, y'all are going to get veteran status. So if you click on that link, you'll get the veteran status in Discord. And then I'm going to remove that later on. Once we get, I don't know, once we get several people in there, I'll remove that and just give everyone else moving forward just a regular link. But yeah, I mean, reward you for being here with me from the beginning, right? Yeah, me too. I really do. I've never seen Conan roll out an update where there wasn't an issue, but I think because we're on Unreal Engine 5 now, I think they're going to be able to fix it faster than they used to. Plus, you know, having the extra company helping them, which I don't know what that's about, right? I mean, are they going to be around long term? Is this going to become a dual venture with them? I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but maybe that's the best thing for Conan. Who knows? But yeah, I do expect there to be some bugs too. That guy. Oh, you came around right at the end of Age of Sorcery. Okay, that might have been 2003, because they were pumping out new ages there for a while. It's like every 6 to 8 months you'd have a new age. It was kind of cool. They had the Bazaar going strong back then. I don't think a lot of people were buying from the Bazaar though. They had what else did they have going? I can't remember what they called it, but you would get like things you'd have to do every day, and you would gain Crom coins, and if you paid for it monthly, and you did everything that was asked of you to do, you would get all your coins back, and then you could reuse them again. What was that called? Can't remember.
Who are you, Shadow?
But yeah, I think they came to a point where they just realized there's no way we can keep this game going. It's just not stable, right? Every time they would fix something, they would break something else. Every time they would, roll something new out, something else would break. There's just no way they could do it without upgrading the engine. And they couldn't do an in-place upgrade. The creators, or I guess you call them the front men, the spokespeople, about a year and a half or so ago, came out and just said that. They just said it out loud. There's nothing we can do with Unreal Engine 4. We can't do an in-place upgrade. It's not possible. And that's whenever we all realize, well, if they don't go to Unreal Engine 5, Conan's got an expiration date that's not far away, right? And then they paid this other company to come in and help them remaster it on Unreal Engine 5. This is where you learn how to comb hair. There's also a couple other things in here that I passed up. I probably should have told you. I mean, this is not really like a guidebook or anything, but right here, if you press this, that's where you learn Defari banners. I already have the knowledge, so it tells me I don't need it. And then over here is where you learn Defari tools. I think it's just tools. Tools and weapons. No, it's Defari weapons. That's what it is. It's Defari weapons. The armor you don't get. You used to get the armor and the weapons from this, I think, but now you just get the weapons. Which, I mean, is a step up from stone tools. So take that for what it's worth.
Come into the light, Shasha.
I got him mad now. I just killed a name something.
Your heart will be eaten.
Oh. You guys are mad. This one was, oh, yeah. Yeah, hidden daggers, that's a dancer. So this is where it gets interesting. I've got a trick that I use here, and I'll show you my trick. There's the coup de grace right there. It's the coup de grace. Coup de grace is what it's called. And I had learned to pronounce this coup de grace. And if you just joined, I was telling a story about that. So, yeah, this one right here I don't want to put on her because it will kill them if they're not T4. So I'm just going to put the regular steel truncheon on her. And I'll show you why I'm doing this. There's a trick to what I'm doing. Cannibal Brute. She can knock him out. I don't care. That's fine.
You picked the wrong fight. Taste death.
Alright, so we'll leave him there for a minute. Take these two out here too. It's not a guaranteed spawn that he's going to spawn there. Look, this is why they got to fix the game, right? We just knocked that dude out. We come back down there and he's gone. He's fallen through the earth. He's fallen through the earth here. So the only way for me to, now if someone else is playing with me, they might see him there, but I don't. And I've tested this with friends. So he's actually there. I just don't see him. And you can run away from the place far enough to where you come back and it kind of respawns a little bit and he'll be there on the ground. I'll be able to see him. But these are things they just have never been able to fix. This has been a problem for, I don't know, however long this game's been, however long I've been playing it. It's just been a problem forever. So let's get... All right. Oh, that one's dead. What happened to the one that we knocked out? She knocked one of them out. See, that's what I'm saying. And there's no way they can fix these problems until they update this to Unreal Engine 5. It's just, and I get what people are saying, you know, some people who just won't be able to play the game because maybe their computer won't be able to handle it. It's a catch-22. You can't update the game to where it's playable, like something simple what we just did. We got to run away from this base. We got to run away from this camp and then go back into the camp just to see the two people we just knocked out, right? That's not, I don't consider that very playable either. So yeah. Let me see. Catching up on chat here. May 5th, can't wait. Me either. Battle Pass. That's what it was called, that guy. It was the Battle Pass. That's what it was. I think I did it for a couple months, but, you know, I got tired of, like, going back to the same place over and over and over again. It kept having you do the same stuff. I was like, this is boring. Pre-launch, still love the game. Oh, you were... I'm going to try to pronounce that. Ismael Figaro? Ismael Figaro? Am I close? Let me know if I'm close. Ismael? So, Ismael, you were pre-launch on Conan, so you'd have been 2017? I think I got in... I think 2018. I think. Look, they're all respawned now. Now we gotta fight them all over again just to get the ones we knocked out.
I will drink your blood.
I will drink your blood.
Drink my blood. I'm stuck on one of them. There we go.
Curse you.
I do like how they added where the NPCs that you're fighting can roll. I like how they added that in. So, let me get caught up on chat here. Yeah, that guy, they did improve it. Izzy is good. Hey, Izzy, so question for you. This has been a problem ever since I've been playing the game, where they disappear. The thralls disappear when you knock them out. Was that the case when the game first launched? All right, so now we got him. So this is the trick I was showing you, is that you have to... Do I still got her club on her? Yeah, she's still knocking people out.
You picked the wrong fight.
You just walked right by him. Go get that dude. I couldn't have felt good. He hit her. She hit him right on the top of his head. Oh, I've got him. I've got her on defensive. That's what's going on. Okay. I went into Sepermeru with her not long ago. That's why. So, you can draw them here and fight them here. On top of here. Or, you can just drag them up here and kill them. Kind of what I've always... It's kind of stuck in the ground there a little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to hit him. Yeah, this will drive you crazy. It's getting worse. Look at that. No, it wasn't at first like that. It was for me ever since I've been playing this game. And it did get worse over time, you're right. But, I mean, what... You're supposed to sacrifice someone right here. I'm gonna try to just get someone else, maybe. We knocked out these two dudes. Let's try one of these. Let's see if this will work. Nope. It's just not gonna happen for us. Try walking away and coming back. She knocked a bunch of these dudes out. Yep. Step away and come far back, and then everything's just going to respawn again. And this is like, to me, when people do have a good excuse. I mean, they have a good reason as why they don't want them to upgrade Conan from Unreal Engine 4. But this here is a good reason that you have to, right? Let's go ahead and go far, far away. Come back. Correct. Maybe we can get this guy to chase us. Put her on defensive. Get this guy to chase us up there, maybe. Coming? Nope, we lost him. He's not going to run that far. This guy will, though. Come over here. Stop fighting them. Come over here. There we go. So all of that just to kill something on here so we can get this dungeon to open up. So right here is what I was talking about earlier. There's a stone tablet. If you touch that, you will learn... Actually, it's not that. Yeah, it is that. If you touch that, you also learn the knowledge to be able to make this here, the glowing stick. A couple 3-star bosses in here. This one over here, if you've watched... I've got a Dregs video out. This guy over here, let me get... Yeah, she's got her club on her. Or she's got her weapon. They're a lot like the boss crocodiles, the 3-skull crocodiles. They fight very similar. This is an albino Komodo dragon.
Taste death. Die.
Their moves are exactly like a
Curse you.
3-skull crocodile, though.
You picked the wrong fight.
And you always want to pick them, right? You get the key, right? If you look at Right now we have 10 skeleton keys. We pick this dude, we're gonna have 11. Eventually. There it is. Get rid of this stuff. There's one boss in the Dregs. You can clear all this stuff out here if you want to. You don't really have to fight everything in here, though. You can avoid that 3-skull albino Komodo dragon if you want to altogether. You don't even have to fight him. You just go to the left. Catch up on chat here for a little bit. Yes, Zen, that is an awesome torch to have because you can use it in the water. There's a bunch of lore you can get in here too. I think there's 3 books in total. This is basically, if for anyone who's played Tomb Raider, this will remind you a lot of Tomb Raider because you're shooting arrows at targets. I got plenty of arrows, good. And when you shoot the arrow, the water starts rising. You can't climb in dungeons, at least most of them. You can't climb in. That's why you need the water to get up. If I try to climb on this wall, they tell me I can't climb. Kind of silly, but it's how they get the mechanics to work, right? The best thing to bring in to fight these guys is bring an axe or mace, what she has on her. But the axes are really good. Now, axes typically don't have a lot of armor penetration, but they still work really good on these skeletons. I don't think I brought any. I wasn't planning on coming. So, no, I didn't bring an axe. Alright, so again, I have a dungeon guide on this, but you just shoot. This one right here, we're going to want to go up over the middle. And then the next set, I think, gets a little bit trickier. Yeah, this set's a little trickier. You need to hit this one. Then we're going to go over here. Oh. We want to hit this one. There's one more we need to hit over here. Get me up there. Just wait on the water to come back. Oh. And the reason why we need to hit both of them, because one of them actually makes this water rise here. This is a cool part here that they added to the game, where there's a spider over here in this area. This is something I want to say they added this a couple years ago, maybe a year or two. But this is kind of cool. And what I like about it is early game, if you like playing with a katana, this guy can drop a katana. And the bad thing is, katanas, you don't really get to make a good katana until you get to level 60. You can't make a good katana. You can make katanas, but they really suck. There's no middle. It's just like the early iron katana and then your in-game katana. But this guy will drop a katana. Sometimes.
You picked the wrong fight.
And he goes right back into the stuff I don't want to be in. See what he dropped. I think he dropped the katana. He did. And if you can get this early on, this is a game changer, right? Those carcasses are so heavy, they're not worth carrying out of here. Let's go ahead and chop him up, though. Get that key. Is he going to give us a key? Yeah, he did. There it is. All right, let's... What do I think about the new update coming? Oh my goodness, man. I mean, I'm super excited because I thought, so it's either update the game or the game goes extinct. There's no in between. You can't keep this game on Unreal Engine 4. Can't. Not and be able to do anything cool with it in the future. So I'm excited. Now I am worried that a lot of people who have been playing a long time won't be able to play it. However, when the update does roll out to the PlayStation and Xbox, it will. I think it'll regain that crowd because it'd have to work on it, right? It'd have to be designed in a way that it works on those platforms. This is a dangerous area that people don't realize when you're new. If you try to like sneak around in here, you're probably going to aggro everything in this area. If you can get away with just aggroing one of them at a time, that's the best way to do it. Not an easy thing to do, though. All right. We did. We went in the middle and was able to aggro one, but if you try to sneak around the edges, you're just going to aggro like 5, 6, 7 of these things. There we go. There's one. And again, I'm telling you this because right now I've got in-game armor on, and I've got in-game weapons. But if you're early on, you'll get surrounded by these dudes. Hey. You can't stagger them either. That's the thing with these skeletons is you can't stagger them. You can knock them down though with the axe.
You picked the wrong fight.
You haven't killed him yet? Alright, and this one you just want to go over here to the left. In this last section, just want to go over here to the left like this. And even though you can't climb, she's messing me up. Even though you can't climb, you can hop and skip and jump around a little bit and make your way up. The one we want here is down here. I've found for some reason that it's easier to try to get up over in this area. It just seems easier to try to get up there from here. Then you want to go into the sewer pipe here. Where you at, girl? She is. Our follower is lost back there. There she is. There's 2 skeletons on the outside that you'll want to take out first. You know, I take that back. You can stagger them a little bit, but not like other things when you fight them. You can stagger these skeletons a little bit, but the problem is that if they're already throwing a punch or throwing a blow at you, you won't stagger them like you will other things that you fight. You can stop them mid punch and stagger them. You cannot do that to a skeleton. Well, here's the boss. Go ahead and send Valencia in there. Oh, that didn't taste good. You going in there, Valencia, or what? This is what you want it to do, kind of put its neck out here and go to town on it. What are you doing? Stuck? There you go. She was stuck getting up those stairs. And I don't know what this thing's even doing. Not paying attention to us. This doesn't make any sense. These are the bugs in the game, right? Sitting there staring straight at the abysmal remnant, and it's not even noticing me. Maybe I can... There, we triggered it, I think, maybe. Oh! You can't make this stuff up. Alright, so after you kill this, you have just a little bit of time. The sewage will drain temporarily. You want to go in here and get your loots. If you've been collecting those skeleton keys throughout here, then you can loot these and get legendaries. The Brittle Bastard. The Huntress. And you'll want to make sure you touch this here. And let's see if there's anything on it that we can get. There we go. This is it's another storyline to this. Once you chop it up, you'll get the staff. This staff here, there's a huge storyline to this, and you can actually use that staff to kind of take you through the journey of most of this game. I'm not going to give that away. I'm not that mean. But if you want to figure out how to use that staff, where we built the base in the survivors in the beginner survivors handbook, there's a reason why I built there. And you just explore around there, go up high, go up in all the high places, take that staff with you. Let's get caught up on some chats here. Here's the way out of the dungeon, by the way. Yeah, me too, Kelly. They got to fix the bugs, right? I mean, if they don't fix the bugs, then it wasn't worth it. But I think that's the only way that they can, is to upgrade. You have a 3050 6 gig RTX, okay. Yeah, you might have to downgrade some of the. You might not be able to play it at high. You might have to play it at lower, medium. Even though, but yeah, I mean, they did say 8 gig minimum on the graphic card. I don't know. Zen, let me know if that works out for you. The 3050 6 gigabyte RTX. They recommend a 3068 gigabyte. Yeah, they did. $16 gig a couple years. Kelly, you got a 16 gig graphic card? That's rocking. That is rocking. Yeah. You had a 1080 Ti 8 gig and it was crashing on you all the time? Interesting. And that's the current version. Yeah, they have been. Those bosses have been freezing. Yep. Oh, you're doing that dungeon. All right, let's get out of here. I don't have her turned on to fight everything. Let's head over to Sepermeru.
Oh.
Barely grabbed on there. Oh, you know what I was gonna do? I'm gonna show everyone this because some new people might not know it. Now, I don't know if they're gonna take away this wall in the future. I don't know what's coming. I really don't. I do want to show this. Let's go the other way. I want to show everyone something. In case you're new to the game, you might not know this. Basically, the bracelet that you have on is keeping you trapped inside these walls. And you hear that all the time, but you might not know exactly what those walls mean. See up over here? Where you've got... I don't know. This is the barrier wall up here. And it goes from these to these. And sometimes you'll see them broken. If it's broken, it means, you know, the wall doesn't really go there. But you see how, like, in between these two here, there's going to be a barrier. You can't go up that hill. If you try to, you're going to die. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Hopefully I see it before I walk into it. There it is right there. See it? Like that green wall. If I walk into that, it's insta-death. And a lot of times your body's going to get trapped on the other side. The only way, I mean, there's a way you can get it back with sorcery, but you can't get it. You'll just keep dying every time you try to go over there to get your stuff back. This is the third time I died in this game. I was like, I wonder what that is. I just walked right into it. I wasn't reading the lore, was I? How many people have on this game, if you're a veteran, on this chat, if you're veterans, you decided to walk into that wall to see what it would do? I did. Not gonna lie. I agree, Zen. The game being decreased from 120 gig to 40 gig of storage, absolutely, absolutely. It's got to be better, right? It's got to crash less. But yeah, who all walked into that wall before? And I actually did it, like right around here. I think it was right here where I did it, because I had my my shell bag, and I had learned to get up to Sepermeru area. Actually, I learned to get up to Shattered Springs, because that's where I was going up there to get a whole bunch of brimstone. And I was like, I wonder what happens if I go through there. Yeah, I should have been reading the lore that I was picking up. It would have told me not to do that. Yeah, lost thralls on the other side. Yep. Well, hey Zen, hey, we're willing to admit it, Kelly. We can admit it, right? It's the price of learning how to play the game. I was thinking about pointing this out on my next video. Next tutorial is about the wall. But the good news is, if you learn enough sorcery and you do it quick enough, you can get your body back. We're getting a sandstorm. We are. Alright, so there was a person who was responding to the to the beginner survivor's handbook. And I ended up having to delete his comment because he was talking about this Yagite chosen mask and how you can get it from the witch doctor. And I didn't want to give that away because I wanted people to be able to see that for themselves. So I taught people how to make the sandstorm mask, the way the game naturally evolves. You're going to find things that are going to help you cheat the system, get ahead, whatever, right? I'm trying not to do that in that series. It's designed for people who don't want to have things spoiled. So yes, the Yagite chosen mask, I think it's pronounced Yagite or Yagite. It's a sandstorm mask too, right? I'm not taking any damage. It's giving me defense just like a sandstorm mask would. There's other masks that you can find later on in late game too that give you better armor, just better overall armor. So someone just mentioned where to go to get it a while ago. But if you take, and I've got a video out there about the library. If you go to the library in the Unnamed City and you take some fragments of power with you, I think you're going to need 30 total. There's 30 scrolls that you can learn in there. And one of the things that you learn is how to make the Yagite chosen mask. Now, the witch doctor does drop a mask as well that you can use to protect you from sandstorms. Now, that person was saying that they drop them in all kinds of camps all over the place. That wasn't true. It's just the witch doctor. So, got to be careful in this sandstorm that I don't walk into that wall. Let's get caught up on chat while this sandstorm's here. Any more, you need at least a 12 gig card to play the new games. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Kelly. I mean, it's not just Conan. It's not just Funcom games. The technology is just getting, I mean, how can we expect to have graphics like they showed us in the video that's coming in Conan without having to have better equipment to be able to see those graphics? I'm with you. I'm glad the game is coming from down to 40. Yep. The green wall has killed me more than I'm willing to say. Yep. You can rough rat. You can, Zen. That is true. And I did mention that in the. I kind of touched on it in the Beginner Survivor's Handbook. I said you can play the rough rap game if you want to, where you're just constantly healing yourself through the sandstorm. But a sandstorm lasts a little while. You better have a bunch of rough wraps on you. Three of them? You think 3 of them would get you through? No, don't worry about spoiling anything in here. That here is fine. I mean, I've got plenty of playlists that are in game. I've got plenty of videos that are in game. I think that's a common. I mean, it's hard to get people to understand. I think what I'm trying to do there. That is not what my channel is about. My channel is not about all no spoilers. It's just that playlist, and there's people always commenting in there like, "Well, I don't think that this is a good way to do this." I'm like, it's just a one single playlist. You don't have to watch any videos in this playlist if you don't want to. It's a option for beginners to not be spoiled by the game. That's all it is, right? No, they drop in camps mostly in chests. I don't think I've gotten from an NPC, but you know, Rail, I think it was at Carver's, what is it, Carver's Crest? Near Sinner's Refuge. I found a mask in a chest back there one time, right? And I know it gave follower damage and all kinds of other stuff. And I think it also would protect you from the sandstorm too. Could be right. All right, let's get going here. Oh, thank you, Zen. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like it. A lot of the veterans really understood what I was trying to do, and the new people, I think, really appreciated it. I mean, you go to try to find out something about the game, and it's like, oh, 4 or 5 things are spoiled to you just because you wanted to find out about this one thing. It just didn't seem fair to me. I didn't have that problem when I first started playing Conan. There wasn't a whole lot of videos out there on YouTube about it, one. And I think Whack did a pretty good job whenever he was making his videos to make sure you knew what you were clicking on and to keep it just to that point, right? Just to keep it on point. All right, we got her set not to fight everybody. Before you go into Sepermeru, make sure that you have your followers on defensive following behavior. If not, you're going to be fighting everything in there. And that's not fun. Especially early on, it's not going to be fun for you. Later on, you get late game armor, late game weapons. You can just go in there and kill everything pretty much. But, you know, that guy, if you're still around, I haven't seen an event in Sepermeru in a long time. I've seen them at the summoning place, but I have not seen an event at Sepermeru in a long time. I wonder if they stopped. I wonder if they stopped that from happening because of some type of bug. Rail, you said you found one in the Cinco, by the Cinco, the camp west of it. You're probably talking about Spinebreaker's Flank. Spinebreaker's Flank here. Carver's Crest is what I was talking about. You're probably talking about Spinebreaker's Flank. All right, so notice that we're not getting attacked here. This is kind of a chill place for the most part. If you see anyone that has Prowler above the name, their name's Prowler, then they're not friendlies. They're going to fight you when they see you. And you will find some areas throughout here that have Prowlers. But for the most part, everyone's kind of chill. I'll give away one thing. And this door that's cracked here, there's actually a story that goes along with this, which is pretty cool, actually. But above it up here, touch this, and you will learn the Relic Hunter armor. And I'm getting ready to spoil like one of the coolest things if you love Conan. if you've played Conan, if you watched Conan before, and you actually enjoy like the movies and everything, you might want to like step away for a couple minutes because I'm getting ready to spoil something here. Somebody's coming. All right, so in here, we'll look on the map. It's near the temple quarter, and I think it's Waterside. I was trying to get that to pop up. Waterside. Right here in this area. This is a bar in here, and this is pretty cool. If you don't want this spoiled for you, you might want to just step away for a minute, because this is one of the coolest things about the game.
So
here's Conan.
You live, and we meet again. Tell me, have you had a good chance to look around?
This is where you learn, if you didn't already know, that he's the one that cut you down off the cross.
It's not too late to get back on that crucifix.
Yeah, he's like, it's not too late to get back on that crucifix. He's the one that cut you down. The pants that I'm wearing, good question. They're artisan pants, and you get them with the DLC. I love, and they're just like a cheap. They don't take much to make. You can make them in the, I always have my in-game armor's bench, and I always keep the improved armor's bench. And then in the improved armor's bench, I make all of this stuff. Like, none of this stuff here is really special, except for the boots. The boots are what they are. But I always illusion into some, like this is a Black Hands vest, right? Artisan pants. What is this? They're kettle bracelets and the headdress earrings. Because I like doing the earrings because you can see the face. So nothing that costs anything, but I do believe that the artisan pants that I'm illusioned into, I think that's part of the DLC. But you can easily use the Black Hands trousers, the Black Hands pants, right? And that looks good too. Everyone's got their own style. You play this game long enough, obviously you're going to get your own style. This is just mine. This is what I've kind of come to. Every now and then I'll put a blouse on or something and then kind of illusion into it. It can look cool too, but I really like this look. It's kind of stuck on it. Oh, you guys want to see? I don't know if I should show people this if you're just starting off though, but we'll go in here for a little bit. This is arguably the hardest dungeon in the game. And of course he's not here. Where did she go? There she is. So he can, oh look, whenever we don't need it, I just took someone's good roll away, right? That's kind of how I feel. This is it's probably the strongest truncheon in the game. It's not my favorite. My favorite truncheon is the coup de grace, but this is where people early on, they'll try to come up here and get this truncheon as quickly as they can, because once you get this truncheon, you can pretty much knock anything out. So this is a fast forward to the end game type of thing that I keep you away from in the Survivor's Handbook. The Beginner Survivor's Handbook, because you're going to watch someone play it. You're going to watch someone start a game and play, and the first thing they're going to try to do is get up here to get this truncheon, because they want to go knock out the best followers, and then the game gets easy, right? It just gets too easy. I'm not going to go all the way into this dungeon. I did make a video on this dungeon, a complete video, but I do want you to see how cool it is. Is this showing up okay with the darks? And can anyone give me like a video check of how this looks? because I have been playing around with the video settings to make these dungeons look better when I go into them. Hopefully I didn't make it worse.
Halt in the name of Set!
Die!
I was either going to run out of stamina or he was going to die. One of the two. All right, let's get caught up on chat here a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I've built on Sipta. It kind of sucks because there was a person who was talking about how they had all this stuff set up on Sipta, and on an official server, I have about 15 bases on one of the servers, and I have a teleport at every base, and so all that's got to come down. Yeah, Kari weapons, yep. I'm going to try not to go too far with explaining that. I don't want to ruin everything for everyone. Like I said, you can talk about whatever you want, but some of the people that are in here, they've watched the Survivor series, so I don't want to give away too much to them. You feel free to talk about what you want to, though. Hard to tell after they jump to the other side of the bridge. Yeah. Yeah, after that jump to the other side, yeah, it changes. Yeah, you're right. Some of the official PvE servers do have restrictions about base building. So what I've been able to get away with is I'll build a teleport. I'll build like 15 different teleports to get around the map. And I haven't ran into any issues, or no one's ever said anything to me about it. And I'm not the only one that's done it. I've seen other people do it. I think if you try to build 15 really big bases, yeah, you're probably going to run into a limit of how many pieces you can put down, be my guess. But I mean, I had like a huge, it's all gone now. Sipta, it's on Sipta. I took it all down. I had a big, huge base, humongous. And I had another huge base that was my purge base on the north side of the map, and probably 11 or 12, maybe 13 nice sized structures where the teleports were. And I make like a nice circle with the big sides on it and a roof and everything. So I have never run into the piece issue where I've placed too many pieces. It's never happened to me. All right, so you're right. It doesn't look too dark yet, but you're right. We're going to find out when we go across that bridge, right? Send her in to take out the boss.
Die!
So here's another way to get, I don't know why I picked all that up. Here's another way to get some in-game gear is to come in here. This is Silent Legion, right? Heavy Silent Legion armor. 3 huge pieces of it. Which is basically, some of it I've got on. I've got on the Redeemed Legion Tacit because I love how it gives me all of the stamina. I haven't found any piece out. I haven't found a piece of armor that gives me that much stamina or more than that much stamina. The boots, I always like wearing the Redeemed Legion boots because of the carry capacity. It's the best for carry capacity. And then I just got the Imperial bracers on because of the carrying capacity too. It's 21. And then my chest guard is agility. And, oh, you know what? I probably should put that back on. My champion's helmet gives me a lot of armor. So I'm able to be somewhat light, but still have 1700 armor. And then I scope myself out for agility. This is kind of how I do it. I like to have the armor on, but it be light, and I have a lot of carry weight so that I can move around a lot. And then my attributes, I make sure I've got grit and agility. You could probably make these backwards if you wanted to. You could probably have agility all the way up. I think you need to get to at least 15 in agility so you get that quick-footed though, because it really does make a difference if you're trying to play agile. So many different ways to build things, but this is typically the direction I go in, is the good heavy armor, but I make it kind of light, right? Where it's got a light feel to it, and I don't build myself up in strength. A lot of different ways to build though. All right, let's get this guy out of the way. Nifter, you built so many bases on one time that it took 40 minutes to load.
By the old serpent, invaders!
Oh, sitting there reading the comments. Can't believe she didn't take them out. Sent you down there to fight them. There we go. All right, let's finish reading the comments here. Watched someone kind of new last night. Told him he can fight the first guy for, the truncheon and then leave. Exactly. Yeah, it's a hard dungeon. Yep, you'll find a lot of trouble in here. Now, once you get past this point, weapons that deal damage, like bleed, are not what you need. You need maces and hammers and axes. That's the only thing that's going to work in here. Once you get onto this side, it's all undead stuff from here on. I purposely didn't turn the light on. Can someone tell me how this looks? It's really dark, right? So, curious how this looks. If it's how the grays look. Do they look kind of blotchy? And then kick the light on. Obviously, that's going to look better. Yeah, the double jump. Yeah, the double jump is pretty cool in some places. Like later on in the volcano, there's some places where the double jump helps. And it's kind of fun. You know, it's fun to use that double jump. I'm not going to go any further in here. I don't want to ruin this for... this is an awesome dungeon. If you want to see it all the way through, I do have a video about it where I go all the way through the dungeon and, give my thoughts and best practices on how to get through there. But I'm not going to go all the way through the dungeon. It's arguably the hardest dungeon in the game. So did you say it was good? The video was good even in the dark areas? Zen? Yeah, so you started doing PvP at the start of this year. Boards, castles, dungeons. Here's the thing about PvP that just drove me insane. This is why I stopped playing PvP. During the daytime, I would get everything fixed because they would blow it up at night. And I'd get everything back to normal. And I was good at hiding things, so they wouldn't get my good stuff anyway. I was really good at hiding things. But they would basically, you'd have people just walking by all night long. They would just want to blow a hole in your wall. And they would even leave you explosives in your chest. But the whole reason why they wanted to play was just to go blow holes in your walls. That's it. That's all they wanted to do. And they'd only do it when you were offline, right? If you were online, like no one wanted to fight you. But if you're online, they wanted to blow a hole in your wall, and they wouldn't even take your stuff. They would actually leave explosives for you. It's just the weirdest thing. So, Nifter, you've played PvP. Is that pretty much how it is still? It's just the weirdest thing. And then you've got the cheaters who have exploited the system, who are just randomly killing people. I don't know if they're making bases in the sky and under the ground so you can't get to them. It's just messed up. That's another reason why the game has to be updated, right? Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. So you're playing single player PvP. That's interesting, because what that's going to cause is like right now, there's no follower damage, right? I'm not hurting her. But if you turn PvP on, it is going to make fighting a lot cooler, because now when you're fighting something, you got to make sure that you hit it and don't hit your throw at the same time. Is that why you're doing that, Nifter? Because that seems like I would understand why you're doing that. It makes it more realistic. All right. So, interesting. You're doing PvP on solo. You could always invite people to your server. That's a good, that's another thing I thought about. When they update on May 5th and they leave the old servers on Legacy, are you still going to be able to do co-op on PC? I mean, I know you'll still be able to do it on Xbox and PlayStation, but are you still going to be able to do co-op where you could invite someone into your own server? I don't know. Let's have a little fun here. Let's drop this dude. Set him up over here. This is what we got in. Let me go back to the map for those who might have joined late. We got him in here. Hanuman's Grotto. Doesn't have a lot of health. You can level him up though. You can get him more health. This is what they eat. Sometimes you can get the greater version. And this is with a lot of pets that you get in similar ways, where you get them as where they're dropped. They're in someone's loot. Sometimes they're graders, and they'll have more than just the basic 311 health. You might have like 1,000 starting off with, and they hit harder. They're just a greater version. I think it's a silverback. Yeah, sometimes it's a silverback, right? It's been a while since I've done that. What you do is you can kill the guy in there praying at the altar, and he has a heart on him, and you trade it in for the pet. No, you can just do it right then and there. As soon as you kill him, you can take the heart and just, give it as a sacrifice to the altar. Yeah, keep going back. Yeah. Got something chasing me. I remember, see, this is the coolest thing, right? This is why I don't like to give things away to people. And I like to have that beginner survivor's handbook, is because when I found the silver mine, I found the silver mine on my own, right? I was just going around. I was trying to find my way to Sepermeru, actually. I was trying to figure out how to get back there. And I came through here and I found the silver mine. And I didn't know that you could even go in there. Right? Yeah, you have a chance. So, you know, even with the trying to think, even with the other type of drops that you can get, frost giant, stuff like that, you have a chance to get the greater version. It might not be like it's not going to have a 1-star above it or anything, but it's like the greater version. You have a chance to get a silverback with those apes. Yeah. When I look, most people are told where that silver mine is in. I found it one day and I'm like, what? What is this? And those are the moments that I want people to be able to have for themselves. That's why I created that series. Because if I just point people in the right place and then they're just out exploring, they're going to find the stuff on their own. And it's so cool, you know? So cool finding something like that on your own. And this was back before they had relic hunters in there, right? Before they had the relic hunters all scattered out in there. So you know, you could walk into that very first beginning and not fight anything. Oh yeah, the Shattered Springs. I wanted to show that too. For a minute there, I thought I wasn't heading in the right direction. I'm like, you know what's going to be weird is when they update the game and we're used to just walking around and we can tell where we are just by looking around, right? When they update the game and the trees look different and the ground looks different, we might not know exactly where we are for a little bit. That's going to be kind of fun. Let's see. Yeah, you can get Yetis. Yep, that's true. The Yetis are the same thing. That's right. You can get them there with the Heart of a Hero. Yep. You're exactly right. Yeah, that's what happened to me, Zen. I was mining silver and I like backed up and I fell into there. That's what happened to me. A chap called was doing a blind playthrough and I was hinting about Sepermeru for weeks in the comments. Yeah. See, that's exactly what I mean, Nifter. I mean, and the cool thing is that a lot of veterans who watched what I was doing, they 100% got what I'm trying to accomplish. They get it. They're like, yeah, this is needed. We need to have a sanctuary basically for new people. They might be stuck on one simple thing. Don't give them the answers to all the answers to the test just because they're asking for one thing, right? This could be a question right here. hey, every time I go into the Shattered Springs area, I'm gagging to death. What can I do? Well, the sandstorm and the gas mask are very similar, right? But you might not know that. No one told me. I had to figure it out. So that might be something someone's stuck on, though. They're trying to get down there to mine it all, but every time they walk down there, they're gagging. Let me show everyone what I mean by this. We're in the place that you don't want to be in, by the way. This is the area that you don't want to be in here, isn't it? No, it's the one, it's the next one over. This one over here. Let's see, one of these. Which one has that? We'll look around. I think it's the next one over. It is. Look at all this brimstone. Whoa! I didn't even see you coming, dude. Nice. So if I take off my gas mask in here, it's not going to be pretty. See that? All right, let's catch up on some chats. Yeah, that new look is going to be amazing. That's a good, you know, that's interesting. You feel like the sandstorm mask, you should be able to make it at level 10. Well, do you still think that you would have to have steel for it, though? That would be the question, right? Because there's a way to get steel early, but it's almost, if you don't find steel, it's almost impossible to get steel without being at level 10. I don't know. I guess I'd have to think about that, Zen. They made a change to the map. If they made a change to the map, I wish it would be for more caves. Me too. If you haven't played Sipta, Sipta's really good. They got a, you know, there's several dungeons and some hidden things in there. And I know that they had talked before, because of the way the game's built, that's why they have the boundaries where they do. That's why you don't really get the full map. But I'm thinking, since they're going to Unreal Engine 5 and they've remastered this, one would assume, I would assume that they've made that in a way to where now they can expand the map. But the way that it was explained before to me is that for every dungeon you go into, it's actually an area up in here. They have to consume an area of the map or something. For it, you know, when you go into a dungeon, you go into a different area, and it's actually consuming some of this stuff up here for those dungeons. So when they remastered it, hopefully they didn't do it that way, so they can expand this out further. Oh yeah, I've beat that boss before. Man, that's a long fight. That is a really long fight with that. What is it, like a rot? I think it's called the rot. ROT, something like that. It took me forever to beat that thing. I think I went through like 100 healing potions. Yeah. You know, Domino, I agree with you. I wish they would do more with religion. They used to do some... Religion was really cool because you could get to a point where you could basically summon a god. But when you... Here's the problem. When you summon the god, it would pretty much crash the game. I don't even know if they might have turned it off completely because people were doing it on servers and you can just crash a server just by doing it. So I would like to see them do more with religion. I agree with you. Yep, Sipta has more caves. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the tip about turning 1 for 1. Yeah, I mean, that's... Once you get the Blacksmith 3, that's a game changer. And it used to be worse because you used to have to... The furnaces used to cost more than they do now. Now I think it's 2 for 1 for the ironstone to iron. I think it was more than that. I know the brick was... So the stone was... Stone to brick used to be outrageous. I mean, it was like 10 to 1 or something like that. Maybe even more, 15 to 1. You'd be mining all day long just to get 50 brick. Oh, the mask, yeah. Yep, the sandstorm. Yeah, it's almost like they purposely created the game for everyone to die in the first sandstorm. Right? 3 for 1 iron. Yeah. Yep, 3 to 1 now. But it was higher than that before, right? Diamond, I think it was 5 to 1 at one point. They've changed those over the years. I tell you what, I have a whole lot more appreciation for creators who go live. It is hard to play the game and all the different things you have going on. It's skill. It takes skill to do this. So all those live streaming gamers out there, I'm seeing the other side of it. If you ever watch this video or if you're on here watching now, whole different appreciation for you. Oh, the other map that you never played. That's okay. So Matt, this is what I think. I think because you can go back and forth between the two maps, I think it's going to entice people to buy the map of Sipta. And I think that's going to make it to where people are going to play it for the first time. People who have played this game for years have never played Sipta because they didn't buy the DLC or they didn't want to pay the extra, right? So now that it's going to be part of the main game. It's going to be they're going to be like interwoven. Right? Going back and forth. There's no way they're not going to have some storylines where you got to go back and forth. That's just a natural thing that's got to happen, right? So I think that's what we're going to see is more people buying the map of the Isle of Sipta. And I think that's going to be pretty cool. It's like I made a video about going through one of the spider dungeons, one of the demon spider dungeons, and like hardly anyone watched it. And I'm like, and I started looking at all the other Sipta videos out there, and they don't get a whole lot of views. And that just tells you right there that there's just not a lot of people playing it. And whenever I join an official server for the Isle of Sipta, there's usually only like a couple people online at a time on each one of the. Every now and then during the busy time, you might see 4 or 5 people on, but just not a lot of people playing Sipta. You know what? I'm gonna go through here. Yeah, yeah, it's tough. Multitasking, all this stuff, yeah. Whole new appreciation for people I've seen do this in the past. What? What hit me? There's some cool stuff in this area that I won't spoil. Some of you all might already know. I don't know why I'm going up the hard way here. It's not working out like I wanted to. It looked like I could walk there. Yeah, I can walk there. Yeah. I couldn't have taken a harder way to get around here, by the way. A lot easier ways to do this stuff. I was thinking about it for a minute. I don't know if I'm going to, though. Yeah, Matthew. Yeah, I highly recommend, try the original first. But on May 5th, you're going to you're gonna have an opportunity to go into the SIPTA without having to start a new character, right? So, it's if they don't make it part of the game naturally that you're playing, then they're doing it wrong. There's a lot of ideas like how are you gonna get there, right? I mean, how are you gonna get there the first time? I think once you get to SIPTA, you could set up a teleport, and it just be like any other teleport you have. Maybe, I don't know. But how are you going to get there the first time? Are you going to have to talk to someone and they give you a potion, or they give you some entrance, or you have to get on a ship and, buy travel there for the first time? I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's pretty cool to think about all those different ways you can do those things. Where are we at here? It's pretty cool. Wow, I didn't realize that was that far down. All right. See the chats here. $10 for a whole new map is a good investment. I agree 100%. Now, this is kind of the tricky part. You can find Conan on sale for the entire DLC package. It includes SIPTA, everything, right? Sometimes you can get that on sale for like 75 bucks or something. You can buy Conan and buy the $10 map. If you buy all that at full price, what is Conan at full price? 50 bucks? I don't even know anymore. And then 10 bucks. You see where I'm going with this, right? So most people end up buying Conan without the DLCs, and you buy the base game. But then you see that sell price for $75 for everything, and you end up buying it twice, kind of, right? I think the normal regular price on that DLC full package is like $125 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on when you want it. Do you want to wait, or do you want it now? Because if you go try to buy all those DLCs individually, it's going to cost you a whole lot more money. I think during Black Friday last year, they had it on sale, and I think it was a couple months ago too. They were, Conan was on sale. Let's go look it up. I got a snake coming after me. I just saw that. Didn't even want me. Another one. Let's go look it up real quick. I'm going to see what Conan costs right now. I know it was on sale. It's not going to show me the price because I already have it. Maybe someone else can pull up Steam and give us the cost right now in the chat. Okay, we got let's see. No snow, no jungle, etc. I have a question. What level do you have to be in Sorcery Book to get the teleport? That's the cool thing, is there's no level requirement other than you're not going to be able to do the journey for sorcery until level 20. But you can start doing sorcery early on, and that's a cheat that people do, is they'll go get that sorcery and basically fast track the game. If you're past level 20, there's pretty much nothing you can't do in sorcery. Nothing's going to hold you back. So there's 15 levels to the sorcery, right? I've got a sorcery guide that you can watch, and it's updated with the latest because they've changed some of the ingredients that you need over the years. But they just updated it to where now you need like purple flower instead of gray flower. So the new update that I made, step by step, each level, it tells you what you need all together to level up all 15 levels. And I even show where to go get it all, where you can go get them at, all the ingredients that you need. $39.99. So that's regular price then, right? For that, I think that's the regular price of Conan. Got a dragon up over here on our right. Anybody want to fight a dragon in the dark? What level is she? Level 14? Why not? Let's see if she can hold up here. This is gonna be a close fight if I don't help.
Gods take you.
I'll give her the advantage. Try to pay a little bit of attention while I'm reading the chat here. The upgrade level, 15 levels of sorcery total. If you get the level 20 on your your character's level, then it unlocks the journey for sorcery. Yep, all DLCs 150. And so you can catch that on sale at times. Now, with this new update going out, they might not put that back on sale again. I mean, they gotta pay for what they just did. Wasn't free. You know, they gotta pay for this. Not one single dragon horn. I didn't think this one dropped a dragon horn. I wanted to do that just to show you. That'll make you mad. And this dragon, I don't think it's ever dropped a dragon horn for me. So that's why I show in the sorcery guide, go kill the baby dragons. You know you're going to get one from each baby dragon. And they lowered the amount that you need. You used to need 20. Now I think you only need 5. It made it easier. Let's see. Me too. That's where I'm at with it, Dominrel. That's exactly where I'm at with it. Is I think the logical thing is how they're going to pay for this upgrade is because now both maps are going to be intertwined and you got to pay for the second one. They know that there's going to be a lot of people wanting to buy that Isle of Septa map. Especially if they start making a lot of the new ages, like the Age of Sorcery, you know, Age of Heroes, all this stuff. If they start making the ages that involve being on both maps. Yeah, they got to make that money back somehow, and I don't know. Maybe we won't see Conan go on sale for a while. Not sure. There's another thing that I want to do too while we're over in this area. Is I teased about a cave that has 2 entrances, and we're not that far from it. Something's coming. There we go. Yeah, let's go to that cave. Yep. Ah! Yeah, I want to get over right here. We'll go to that cave because I teased about it. It's very interesting. The cave has 2 entrances. It's a spider cave. And I didn't want to give it away, but I told everyone to just go in there and check it out. So if you haven't went in there and checked it out, you don't want to see it. Might want to turn away so you don't get it spoiled to you. Spit on me. Here's one entrance, and the other entrance is down here. Every time you try to pick up something to drink, you get attacked by something, right? Oh. Just went right past me after her. Out of stamina. Now, at one time, you couldn't mine the crystal in here. I wonder if they changed that. Let's kill these spiders and find out. I remember at one time, you couldn't mine the crystal in here, though. You can now. So this is cool. There's a guy you can talk to over here. Harpagus the Hatcher. He doesn't speak, but he teaches Zoth. So you can learn the religion Zoth. And, but this right here looks very much like a Sipta creature. There's the demon spiders in Sipta look like that. Let's see if she can handle this. Oh! You know what? It used to not drop the poison in Exile lands. It only dropped the poison in Sipta. So this is exactly the same thing you're fighting in Sipta now, almost. Only this is the 3 skull. If you don't have great armor on you and that poison hits you, you're done. Got the key. We get Blade of the Adventure. Agility weapon, damage health damage 14, cripple, and armor penetration 15. That's a pretty good agility weapon if you like swords. The other way that you go in, you're able to see from... Where is it? It's up over here somewhere. Which way did we come in? It's the opposite way we came in. It's up there. I think. Yeah, it's up there. So you can come in the other way and drop down. Yeah, there it is right there. See that hole up there? It's up there. The other way you come in, you might be tempted to drop down, but the problem is you can't climb on walls in here. So if you drop down, it's splat. Now you can walk your way down carefully by jumping down through a few things. But yeah, that's the other side of the dungeon. Other side of the cave. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, bud. Yes, yeah. So Dom Monroe, exactly. There was one time, if you do get the double jump, you could find your way back up there by doing a bunch of double jumps over here. I did it one time. I mean, I spent like, I think it was right in this area. I spent a long time trying to figure out how to get back up there. But you're right. Yeah, it's corruption, correct. Diamond Rail, you're right. If that corruption hits you, it just does so much damage. Thanks, Izzy. Appreciate it. Yes. The chest with the crystals, the colored crystals, 100%. Right here. You have to have a colored crystal to get that chest. So, good deal. All right. Is there anything anyone wants to see? Any questions that you have? Anything you want to look at? I think this has been a great test for the live. I mean, has the feed been good? Is the video feed, does it look good? Does it look blotchy at all? Yes, used to be the only way to get black and white dyes. Yep. Now you make the white dye with ash and black dye with the oil. Awesome, thanks Zen, appreciate it. That means I was playing around with it a lot earlier today. That means all that work paid off. Getting all the settings right. What am I hearing? Yeah, the thing is that when you go into those dark places in the dungeons and I record them, a lot of times they look really good when you record them and then you upload them to YouTube and it's like, wow, what happened to this video? Now, some of that has to do with the person watching it has to go change, you know, the resolution that they want to watch it from, because I think by default it does like 720p. So if I upload it 4K, which is what I was working on today, is starting to do some 4K videos. If I upload it as 4K, 4K is not the default. So unless someone knows that's a 4K video and they change it to that setting, they're not going to see it in 4K. But the other thing that I was dealing with is when you go into some of these darker dungeons, everything gets real blotchy on the YouTube side of it. So I had to make some changes on my side, how I record the video, so that you can actually see the contrast instead of it just like being like gray and blotchy. There's one video I did, well, when I did the wine cellar video, it has a little bit of that where it looks a little bit blotchy. And the Temple of Frost was one of my first videos I ever did. So I didn't have my settings right on it at all, but people enjoy it still today, so I'll just leave it up. Let's see. Anything anyone wants to see? This has been a great test, great live test. How long have we been going? I don't even know. $2 hours, 2.5 hours. Wow. So for those who just watched the Beginner Survivor series, this is my in-game base here. I'm not completely done with it yet, but this is where I love to build. It's my favorite place on the map to build. Right here in G6. It's up on a hill. This area that I build in is actually not impacted by the sandstorm. So this is the place I try to get to as quick as I can. I did a armor's guide video, and basically all the DLC armors that you can get, lined them up and showed everyone the differences, what kind of bonuses they have, what are the differences. And here it tells you what type they are, Imperial, East, and all that. And here's some other armors. These are helmets, basically. Just helmets that you can make, and then some specialty stuff. Get this from that, what is that called? The Bounty Hunter event? Yeah, the Bounty Hunter event. You can get that from there. Over here, you're going to get more of your, like this is your Sumerian stuff back here. And these are all berserkers, by the way. So these are things that you can turn on. You don't need the DLC to get this stuff here. You just have to open it up as in your knowledge. And then here, this is all in game. Look how many of these people are eating. Wow. Yeah, this is all your in-game armors here, so I won't spoil that for if you know, you know, right? And yep, this is my base. I haven't decorated it out. It's just I just made it functional at this point. But one thing that you might like to know is, how did I do this? How did I make those circle pillars at the end of the base? This is how. You can use the triangles. See what I'm doing? If you look at the pattern, you can use the triangles to give you that castle look. That makes sense. You got to do it on both sides though. And basically you block it in to where you can use the blocks here in the middle, but you have to use the triangle pieces to give you that blocked in effect. Once you learn how to do this, you can build all kinds of stuff that you never knew you could build. Once you learn this trick, it's going to open up a whole bunch of things for you. Hey, thanks, Zen. Appreciate it. Yeah, I always try to... I got a lot of stuff to fill out. This is my favorite looking alchemist bench. That's why I always make it, but it costs more materials. They make things faster, but I like how it looks, so I always use it. Got a little place in here for some beds. Thrall's napping out on his. I can't keep them out of my bed, though. They always try to come in here. Got a kitchen in here. A lot of things I haven't done in this base yet. Don't have archers set up or anything. Obviously, it depends on what video I'm making and what I'm trying to show as to what I'm adding to the base that day. But yeah, I mean, this has been great. 2.5 hours. We can't get a better live test than this. Hopefully, whenever the new graphics aren't so hard that it's going to cause it to look bad whenever I go live, because May 5th, I'm going live as soon as that thing drops. As soon as it updates in my Steam, as soon as it says it's ready to go, I'm turning it on and going live. So I might do a few more live things before then, just to kind of get used to it a little bit. It is a little bit of a challenge, right? I think I'm going to set up the Discord and have the Discord chat on the screen. I'm going to have to work through that so everyone can see what everyone's saying. I think that would be really nice to include that chat, maybe in the top right, or maybe the bottom left-hand corner over here. Yeah, bottom left-hand corner would probably be the best place so everyone can see the chat going. But yeah, I mean, this was awesome. Really appreciate y'all joining the live show here with me. Give me a good test here for this. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that early on, but was always trying to... Yeah, the corner towers, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a really cool thing. Once you learn that, it's going to open up all kinds of different things you can do. Think of how big you can make those. Like, I've made these humongous before. You know, if you got a big enough area, you can have 4 huge circles on each side of your castle, right? Yeah, appreciate you all, Zen. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate your time. So, I'm going to go ahead and end the live feed here, but there'll be more live feeds to come, and May 5th, as soon as that thing hits, I'm going live. We'll go blind into it. We might have some problems. There might be some, you know, it might crash on us because we don't know what we're dealing with, but we're just gonna go into it blind together. So thanks everyone. Really appreciate you. I'll see you again on the next one.